A secret hidden in the woods, not far from homes and businesses.
They don't even know we're here.
Sex offenders camping out with no other place to go. But 8 on Your Side discovered they say they were told to live here.
Your probation officer told you to go and live in the woods without an address.
Yes.
Investigator Walt Buteau asks, what was the state's role?
Did the state alert the neighborhood about this camp, and did probation officers send the offenders there?
And was it legal? Good evening, I'm Keith Cates.
And I'm Stacy Scheibel. Thank you for joining us. 8 on Your Side is exposing a camp of convicted sex offenders who claim they were told to live in a wooded area right in the middle of a busy Bay Area neighborhood.
Homes, businesses, and even schools are nearby, so we wanted to know if anyone was warned about this concealed camp. 8 on Your Side investigator Walt Buteau joining us live with details.
Keith and Stacy, some who live and work in the area say they knew the camp was there, but we were the first to tell them about the criminal records of the men who built it out of nothing. It is carved out of a wooded area, concealed from the rest of this neighborhood off Frontage Road. Just a short walk to businesses and this housing development. You'd never know it existed, even if you stopped to fix a flat tire in the State Department of Transportation lot where the camp rose last year. About a dozen registered sex offenders live here, in tents under a tarp-covered shelter they built out of branches. The ones who agreed to talk on camera asked to hide their identities, saying they feared retribution from the state employees who they claim sent them here. Your probation officer told you to go and live in the woods without an address.
Yes, and he basically brought me out here.
He told me, hey, there's a spot that, you need to go to. So I drove around for a while trying to find this place, and eventually I did,
There's no address.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. There's no address.
The sex offender registration law was put on the books so that we would know where these individuals live. But in these cases, the intersection listed on the state website is this corner, and it's wrong. The actual location is about a mile away from the place listed on the sex offender registry. Would anybody be able to find you in these woods? There's no address.
No, they don't even know we're here. It's just like they hide us from society.
The state can monitor the offenders electronically with their ankle bracelets, but did they tell you how to charge your device when they sent you here into the woods?
No.
So they bought these solar panels and a generator to charge the monitors and avoid violating probation. We went to the Department of Corrections, and when no one got back to us, we called to find out more about the state's role in this camp. Did the state alert the neighborhood about this camp, and did probation officers send the offenders there? No one would go on camera, but in an email, spokesman Paul Walker told us FDC does not assign residents locations.
We need to go back to the safety of the nearby residents.
The convict camp was news to State Representative Lindsey Cross. 8 on Your Side let her know about what was going on since it's located in her district. What can one lawmaker from this part of the state do to solve this?
So I think the first thing is being aware of the situation. I think it's very irresponsible to direct people to an open area and not alert the residents of that community.
This is not for public safety.
Denise Rock runs inmate advocacy nonprofit Florida Cares, based in West Palm Beach. She tells me several former inmates from other parts of the state have made similar claims about being sent to live in the woods. Did those offenders tell you that they were told to go to that area?
Yes.
By probation officers?
Yes.
When the state tells me that they don't tell anyone where to go, do you believe that?
No.
Flat out no.
No, absolutely not.
Even the offenders recognize the problem with sending men to a location the public is not aware of until now. Your daughter, your son, could come into this lot to change a tire and potentially run into a sex offender and have no idea they were here.
Correct. Absolutely.
Here's where the camp is located, off US 19's Frontage Road near Bryan Dairy Road in Pinellas Park. And this has happened before in Florida, in Orlando, and perhaps the most infamous case was in Miami. Here are some pictures of that one. It brings you back to that predator camp that brought national attention to what became known as Bookville, named after a lobbyist who wrote legislation that restricted where sex offenders could live. And this all starts with a viewer's tip. And when we got the tip, we read it and thought, this can't be real, right? But we went out there and it was indeed real.
And it was real. And we still don't know. We can't say for sure who sent them there, but there is some speculation. So let's say the state did send them there, or probation sent them there. I mean, is that wrong? Are they doing something wrong by doing that?
We've talked to a number of people, including a defense attorney, who tells me since they are on probation, they're still what's known as under sentence. So that means sending them to live somewhere without shelter would violate a state administrative code. But again, as you said, the DOC denies they've done anything wrong.
Not us, but obviously it's going on out there.
Absolutely.
And you notified the representative who didn't even have a clue that it was in her district.
And keep this in mind, too. Whether or not they sent them there, the state does know they're there because of the ankle monitors.
Right. You're absolutely right.
Walt.
Thanks, Walt. And if you have something you'd like Walt to investigate, call our 8 on Your Side helpline at 1-800-338-0808.